Sean.
Are you serious?
Hello and welcome to another episode of How to Kill an Hour. My name's Marcus.
I'm Sean.
This is where we both jump on the internet, bust some jokes, find some funny news stories and find new ways to kill time. What's going on, bro?
I'm all good. I'm all good. I'm here sporting my Lando Norris hat because he just won the F1.
Yes.
Sporting, yeah.
He's
Big up Lando.
He's completed F1, bruv.
He has. I just told him, I said, man, you might as well just retire now, innit? Do you know what I mean?
Would you say he's a good driver?
I'm going to go with yes.
Yeah?
But that's just my personal opinion, you know what I'm saying?
On a scale of 1 to 10, where'd you put him? Pole position? Or fucking arse.
What's going on with you?
You know what, bro? I've just been fighting off hay fever, bro. Like my I said this before we press record, might as well say it again. My sinuses are like sniffed a big bit of pollen the other day, right?
And it's went...
Yeah, they just went...
Swelled up immediately, you know the ones.
This shop's closing down. And I go, when? When until? And they went, indefinitely. So yeah, I'm just waiting for them to open up. I've taken this phenethylamine or whatever it is.
Yeah.
What is it? I don't know how to say that one.
Is it the phenephrine?
Phenephrine sounds better. Yeah. Phenethylamine or whatever. Falafeline.
I probably butchered it.
So you take 2 falafels and put them in your nose. Phenephrine or whatever like that. And I've just been trying to open up those nostrils, baby. You get me, bruv. That's it.
It's a tough one, isn't it?
You get me.
Bloody hay fever.
Anyway, Sean, I promise I won't spam the sound effect buttons this week. Should we jump straight into our jump into our jokes of the week.
You know the thing is, at any point if you're ever going to say anything like that, I just know 100% you're going to go like fucking totally the other way in it in like 10 seconds. And then there you are.
Do you know what's mad is that Road, if I ever send this back for a button being broken, they're going to be like... the people that make the desk, they'll be like, so has it been under any stressful use? I'll be like, nah, man, I just usually press it normally, man. You just give us a little example.
Like
just a little...
They're like, this one button seems to come out of the back of the sample.
Why is this button flat? It goes in. Concave button. Right, man. Anyway, so Sean and I tell some jokes. Would you like to go first, Sean?
All right, I'll do it. A man goes to the doctor to get a checkup. The doctor tells him that he's only got 6 months to live. Mm-hmm. So he says to the doctor, well, doctor, what should I do? He said, well, what you need to do is you need to go and get your mother-in-law and you need to get her to move in with you. And he asked the doctor, why? Will that help me live longer? The doctor said, no, but it will be the longest 6 months of your life.
Shout out to the mother-in-laws.
Oh, indeed.
Shout out to our mother-in-laws,
Indeed.
man. You know, no disrespect, but relatable. Right. My wife asked me what I wanted for my birthday. She knows I've always wanted a Ferrari. So I said something that goes from 0 to 180 in under 10 seconds. She bought me a bathroom scale.
It's
a divorce present.
All right. A restaurant is packed. Suddenly, a man clutches his chest and collapses. Chaos erupts. A panicked bystander. Someone help! Is there a doctor here? A man in glasses and a tweed jacket jumps up from his table. I'm a doctor. Oh, thank God. Do something. Well, I'm a doctor of philosophy. But he's going to die. We're all going to die.
I thought it was going to be like, or is he? Yeah. But what is death? But the movement of particles of energy.
says.
Yeah. Oh man, let me just finish my Play-Doh chicken. Anyway, that sounds a bit sus. No homo.
Right, are you done?
That's good. That's good though, isn't it? When you accidentally sound like you're speaking philosophy. No homo. Oh man.
Come on.
Okay, cool. All right, come. You're fired, says the boss to the construction worker. I can't stand it anymore. Oh no, what did I do? Well, why are you firing me, says the employee. The noise, said the boss. The whole day long, your wheelbarrow goes squeak, squeak, squeak. But boss, it's not me, it's the barrow. It squeaks just like everybody else's. Right, says the boss. But their wheelbarrows go squeak, 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 squeak.
He's got a good point in this.
How many squeaks per hour are you, bro?
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Up that RPM.
Up your squeakage, man.
SQM. Your
Squeaks per
SPH. Up your SPH levels. A man is tanning at a nude beach. In order to prevent sunburn in sensitive places, he takes his hat and he puts it over his crotch. As he lies there, a woman passes in front of him. You know, she says with a smirk, if you were a true gentleman, you would have raised your hat to me. The man smirks back, ma'am, if you were a true lady, the hat would have risen itself. Savage. Tougher than I wanted to.
Tougher than I wanted. An air hostess on a flight from New York to Chicago notices a man is sitting there biting his nails and sweating profusely. Concerned for him, she stops at his seat and says, "Sir, can I get you something at the bar to calm you down?" The man nervously gives a nod of approval while shaking terribly. She comes back with a drink and he downs it quickly. 10 minutes later, the flight attendant sees the same man shaking and biting his nails again. She brings him another drink, which he swallows immediately. Half an hour later, she returns to see that the man is shaking uncontrollably and crying. "My goodness," the flight attendant says. "I've never seen someone so afraid to fly." "I'm not afraid of flying," says the man, sobbing loudly. "I'm trying to give up drinking."
Yes, assumptions, the root of all fuck-ups, right?
Poor guy.
Do you know what as well, man? I just have this thing that whenever anyone says Chicago, the first thing that comes to my head is flipping Ace Ventura. Chicago, you're out of here. So after that, I just wasn't listening. Shawshank Redemption. Shish kebab. Come on, get out of here. Come on.
There are some mad parts of that film that are loads more adult than I realised for like a 12, you know.
Yeah.
There's like one bit where he's in by himself and it's basically he's definitely having some me time and they come in and he's like, "I'm sorry, I was meditating," or whatever like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, right, when I watched it when I was a kid, I had no idea what was going on.
Oh, there's so many sneaky adult themes in. I mean, like I was watching Super Mario Brothers the other day.
Yeah.
Have you seen the
the OG one?
No,
Oh, okay.
the kind of new one.
I thought you meant the one with Bob. Was it Bob Hoskins?
I can't remember.
OG. You know that one though, don't you?
I can't remember. It's Bob Hoskins.
The live action one.
Yeah,
it was Bob Hoskins. Yeah, sorry.
I remember that one. If I'm honest,
I think no. I don't think many people remember that. I think the studios are like, I
forget that one.
I've not seen it, by the way. Yeah,
there's like a Furby looking thing that's in a cage that like Bowser's got, and it's like it's lost its will to live, and it's like dark.
Oh, right.
But it's like adult themes, so maybe as a kid you wouldn't kind of get it. Okay. Do you know, like they're gonna like. There's a point where they're all gonna get lowered into the lava, and it's like, mercy, like, do you know what I mean? Yeah, wow. Do you know what I mean? And it's like it's quite dark, isn't it? Like whenever anybody comes into the kind of dungeon, it's like, "Oh, fresh meat," and then they just keep saying it, and everyone else around them is like, "Shut the hell up!" Like, stop being so depressing, isn't it? And it's like,
I can't lie, Sean. That's a lot more child friendly than what I thought you first said when you said there was some fur in a box, but.
Fur in a box.
Furry thing in a box. I was like, in a kids show, this is mad.
They're like, Mario.
And I was like, the plumber comes over to fix the washing machine. Where's it?
Wait,
where's this going?
Have you seen it? Did you? It's that thing in it of the if you watch a porn film in Rewind. The guy has sex with the lady, breaks a washing machine and leaves it. So dumb. Right. Okay, this is a long one. It's a bit of a mad joke. I'm going with it. All right. When someone says to you, "Do you know jack shit?" The story of oh shit. For some time, many of us wondered just who jack shit is. We find ourselves at a loss when someone says, "You don't know jack shit." Well, thanks to my genealogy efforts, you can now respond in an intellectual way. Jack Shit is the only son of R Shit. R Shit, the fertilizer magnate, married Miss O Knee Deep, They had one son, Jack. In turn, Jack shit married no shit. The deeply religious couple produced 6 children. Holy shit, give a shit, full of shit, bullshit, and twins, deep shit and dipshit. Against her parents' objections, deep shit married her cousin, dumb shit, a high school dropout. After being married for 15 years, Jack and no shit divorced. No shit later married Ted Sherlock, and because her kids were living with them, she wanted to keep her previous name. She was then known as No Shit Sherlock. Meanwhile, dipshit married Loader Shit, and they produced a son with a rather nervous disposition. Named Chicken Shit. 2 of the other 6 children, full of shit and give a shit, were inseparable throughout childhood and subsequently married the Happens brothers in a jewel ceremony. The wedding announcement in the newspaper announced the Shit Happens nuptials. The Shit Happens children were Dog, Bird and Horse. Bullshit, the prodigal son, left home to tour the world. He recently returned from Italy with his new Italian bride. Piece of shit. Now, when someone says you don't know jack shit, you can correct them. There you go. Not even a joke, but it tickled me. I'm sorry.
Now, Sean, it's great that we've had that version
Do I
of the
have to
podcast.
do the whole thing with the
sheet?
the sheet. Oh, bloody hell. All right. Fuck.
It's either that or I try and you every time. That's
all right,
hard.
I'm going to do this again.
No, sheet is better.
Do I have to do sheet?
Yeah, do sheet.
All right, okay. I'm going to do this again. Ready?
Okay.
When someone said, do you know Jack Sheet? The story of O Sheet. For some time, many of us wondered, just who is Jack Sheet? We find ourselves at a loss when someone says, you don't know Jack Sheet. Well, thanks to my genealogy efforts, you can now respond in an intellectual way. Jack Sheet is the only son of Orr Sheet. Orr Sheet, the fertilizer magnate, married Miss O Knee Deep. They had one son, Jack. In turn, Jack Sheet married No Sheet. The deeply religious couple produced 6 children, Holy Sheet, Giver Sheet, Fuller Sheet, Bull Sheet and twins, Deep Sheet and Dip Sheet. Against her parents' objections, Deep Sheet married her cousin, Dumb Sheet, a high school dropout. After being married for 15 years, Jack and No Sheet divorced. No Sheet married Ted Sherlock, and because her kids were living with them, she wanted to keep her previous name. She was then known as No Sheet Sherlock. Meanwhile, Dip Sheet married Loader Sheet, and they produced a son with a rather nervous disposition named Chicken Sheet. 2 of the other 6 children, Fuller Sheet and Giver Sheet, were inseparable throughout childhood and subsequently married the Happens brothers in a jewel ceremony. The wedding announcement in the newspaper said that The wedding announcement in the newspaper announced the Sheet Happens nuptials. The Sheet Happens children were Dog, Bird and Horse. Bullshit, the prodigal son, left home to tour the world. He recently returned from Italy with his new Italian bride. Piece of sheet. Now then, now when someone says you don't know Jack Sheet, you can correct them.
Sheet. Sheet. That is fantastic. Oh man, you know what that story? That story was not sheet at all. It wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't. All right, Sean. Now this one isn't going to be as long as that one, right?
Okay.
And I don't know how it made it in. It's probably from accidental pasting from the wrong place. This is actually one. This is a punishment question. It's made its way in. So shout out to Ben. Big up you, Ben. According to the Institute of... Sorry, by the way, how did I mess up a joke that's 1 line, 3 words in? Anyway.
Twice.
Yeah, twice. According to the Institute of Incomplete Studies, 8 out of 10 Americans...
That's fucking great.
I don't know why
brilliant. It's brilliant. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, and apparently 3 out of 2... I love jokes like that.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Short one. My doctor has increased my medication. It's a tough pill to swallow.
I love that.
I almost timed it. That you almost just choked
Just
on
like,
your...
yeah, destroyed my laptop and died. That was a good one. I like that. All right, cool. This is one I've been sitting on for a while, right?
Okay. Is it warm?
It's one that made me actually chuckle. Like, you know when people write "lol" in a message,
what's that?
You don't really laugh out loud, yeah. Or like the smiley face emoji with tears. You just like really, you go.
Yeah.
It's actually made me go twice.
And then you wiped the tear away from you.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
A married couple are discussing erectile dysfunction with a surgeon. Well, medication isn't working, said the surgeon, so you have 3 options. Level 1 surgery will enable you to get it on once a month, and that costs 10,000. Level 2 will enable you to get it on once a week, and that'll cost 20,000. Level 3 will enable you to get it on once a day, and that costs 30,000. I'll pop out for some coffee, and I'll give you some time to decide the next steps. 20 minutes later, the doc came back into the office. How are you two getting on? Have you decided yet? Yes, the couple beamed. We've decided to get a new kitchen. Yo. 30 bags. 30 bags. Mate, give me the kitchen. Sorry, I don't know why it tickled me. I'm sorry for taking so long to get through it, but fucking I had to tidy it up.
Jesus.
Sorry. All right, I'll give you another one to make up for it.
Don't compound your misery, bro.
No, I got it. Don't compound. Wow. That my guys is you say how your friends why have enemies? Why have enemies? I got a DM offering me a good time in exchange for advertising some kind of bathroom cleaner to my friends. Of course, I denied, because I'm a person of high moral standards and I've got strong willpower. Just as strong as Ajax, the super strong bathroom cleaner, now available in scented lemon or vanilla.
Oh dear, oh dear.
There you go.
Was that a
I hope that made up for it.
Did you plug something?
Sorry, man. Sorry. It's a great addition to our jokes.
Right. Okay. A lawyer woke up in the hospital after surgery. He asked, "Why are all the blinds drawn in here?" The nurse replied, "Well, the building across the street is on fire and we didn't want you to think the operation had been a failure." I'm not going to lie. The fact that you got it took me a second. I went, huh? Oh yeah, man. Listen, lawyers get cooked in jokes, man. They do. Yeah. Lawyers get cooked, man. That was a flamey one still. All right, here's another one. Right. I won't miss this one out. This is, honestly, Sean, this is another one that made me crack up as well. Okay.
A very drunk biker lady stumbled into a bar shortly before closing time and sat at the bar and said, "Bartender, I would like a martusi." The bartender thought, I'll bring her a martini. He brought her one and she backed it in one gulp. She then went, Bartender, I want another martusi. Again, the bartender bought her a martini, and by this time, the woman was leaning heavily forward and barely able to hold herself up. So he gave her the drink anyway. Thought that'll be her last one. She called out as he was walking away, Bartender, your martusi's giving me heartburn." Patiently, the bartender turned around, approached her and said, "Look, lady, I'm not a barbender, I'm a bartender. And what you've been drinking is not a martusi, it's a martini. And finally, you don't have heartburn, your boobs are in the ashtray."
Can I just say, do you know what I loved most about that joke? Is there was a bit in it when you were back to your voice and you just went, and the bartender went and got...
Did I still call him a bartender?
Yeah.
Leave it in.
100%.
Yeah, leave it in. Oh, man. All right.
Okay. John O'Reilly's winning toast. John O'Reilly raised his beer at the pub and proudly declared, "Here's to spending the rest of my life between the legs of my wife." The pub erupted in laughter, and John took home the prize for the best toast of the night. That evening, he strutted through the front door and told his wife, Mary, "Guess what, love? I won the prize for the best toast at the pub." "Oh, did you now?" Mary said. "And what exactly was this fine toast of yours?" Thinking quickly, John smiled and said, "Here's to spending the rest of my life sitting in church beside my wife." Mary beamed. "Oh, John, that's a lovely sentiment." The next day, Mary bumped into one of John's drinking buddies on the street corner. With a cheeky grin, the man said, "Mary, you should have heard John's toast at the pub the other night. It was about you." "Ah, I know," Mary said. "And I'll admit, I was surprised. After all, he's only been there twice in the last 4 years. Once I dragged him by the ears and the other time he fell asleep."
Yes! Do you think John is future Little Johnny? I'm just saying, it sounds like a Little Johnny thing to me.
He's grown into Johnny O'Reilly.
Sounds right. And with that being said, Sean, Little Johnny.
Oh, the segue. Oh, it was smooth.
Little Johnny puts 100 quid in the bank every day. One day, the boss at the bank noticed and said, "Johnny, why do you keep putting 100 quid in here every single day? Johnny goes, can we talk in your office? The boss says, all right. And then they jump in the office. Johnny spills the beans. Look, well, I make a bet every day with someone that I can kiss my right eye. The boss laughs and says, no way you can do that. Johnny smirks. Want to bet? The manager agrees, and quick as a wink, Johnny takes out his eye and kisses it, but then pops it back in. The boss feels kind of silly and gives him $100. Johnny goes, you know what? I'll give you a chance to win your money back. I'm pretty sure that you were wearing girly red panties. If I'm wrong, I'll give you back your $100 plus another 100 on top. The boss agrees, but Johnny goes, listen, before you drop your pants, I'm going to need 10 witnesses to make it official. So the boss gathers his team around, and after taking his pants off, he feels very proud to have won $100 because obviously he's not wearing the red pants. He then notices Johnny is smiling. Confused, he goes, are you happy about losing your cash? Johnny grins, well, I had a bet with the team about how fast I could get you to drop your trousers. Little Johnny. I've got another great take on a classics one. I've got to add this to the
Come on.
The butler walked through the door, only to find the lady of the house sitting by the fireplace, sipping wine, waiting for him. She motioned him closer in a soft voice and said, unbutton my blouse. Nervously, he did as she asked. Now take off my boots. He knelt down and pulled them off, one by one. Now my socks. He carefully removed the socks, placing them neatly beside the boots. Now my skirt. His hands trembled as he unfastened it, eyes locked on hers. Now, my bra. He hesitated and then carefully slipped it off, letting it fall to the floor. The widow took a sip of wine, locked eyes with him, and said, if you ever wear my clothes again, you're fired.
I absolutely love it. Hey, can I say, man, I think you might have missed your calling, bro.
Yeah, oh, really? What?
Yeah, man. I think you should start reading You should start
You couldn't see what I did on the YouTube.
Come on. No. What I was saying was, maybe you should do like sultry reading of like 50 Shades or something.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
but we can't afford to just go in and take their whole franchise on. We'll get sued. So we have to do something that's like, what's a knockoff? What's far enough away for it not to be associated with, but close enough to? Do we just have
50 grades of shade?
15 grades of shade. What did you say? 15 grades of shade.
I'm just saying. I was hooked. I wanted to
Were
know.
you in?
I wanted to know what I wanted. I was like, oh,
all right.
you know what it was? You know, I knew it was good because I started to create mental images whilst you were telling me the story.
Oh, jeez.
I did.
Oh, jeez.
I was thinking about the, you know, who the widow was next to the fire. She was the one from Scottish Widows.
Really?
From the advert.
Okay. I could not have. Of all places you were going to go for, I didn't think you were going to go there. That's quite. Honestly, Sean, I'm never going to kink shame, but that's quite a morbid fantasy to have.
Is this saying more about me than it is?
I feel like she kind of is closer to the Grim Reaper if I was going to align her to another character that wasn't real, you know? Her and the Grim Reaper would have a good night out. Yeah, you know what I love? Widow with a Scottish accent. What a Tinder profile that is.
She did not have the woman from Scottish Widows didn't have a Scottish accent.
What?
She could have had a Scottish accent, but you didn't hear her speak. Well, yeah. Or you saw her putting like a veil on her head or something like that.
If you manage, she's her right. It's fucking what he is. Which one he is suck a shit.
Oh, this has gone completely the other way.
Oh man, I'm trying to think of funky crushes that I had. Did you really like it? Or were you just messing around, the Scottish Widow?
No, but
was that a bit?
No, I'm just from a thing of like I still remember the advert because I used to think, wow, I'm just like 8.
Yeah, that's cool.
You know
I'm not judging. I'm just
saying,
trying to think. Did I think anyone was like, wow?
Oh, can I put one more out there? Topanga from Boy Meets World.
Oh yeah, what? When we were younger, she was like, everyone just fancied her, right? That was normal.
No, not everyone. It was just me.
She was yours. Yeah. Topanga was.
No. Topanga. Say it correctly, G.
Oh, sorry, Topanga. Sorry, it's not Topanga.
No,
Topanga.
Yeah, no. Obviously, I don't really care that much, but just fucking get it right in it. You know what I mean? God,
there you go. What picture of her up? There you go. Topanga.
Hey, stop.
Wow. Yeah, I used to fancy her as well. Boy Meets World? That was a
Corey.
Corey. Did he get with her in the end? In the show?
But do you know what, yeah?
Oh my God, just type in Topanga and the next thing that comes out Google is a swimsuit Topanga. Definitely not going to click on that. It's disgraceful behaviour.
You should probably just delete your browsing history.
You think that, bruv? My browsing history. Listen, mate, that's the one thing that if I'm judged, like at the end of time, if I could veto one thing, like if there's one thing we can take off the table, I'd be like, just
Is this a Pearly Gates? Is this Pearly Gates joke?
Pearly Gates.
And then you're like, you know what? I think I should be all right. And it's like, and Marcus Bronzy.
Yeah.
And you're like, I think I'm all right. I've done good deeds and that. And it's like, and finally, your browsing history. You just go, oh, fuck it. Just walk off.
Be like, marmalade and elephants. You know what? I'm out of here, bruv.
There's no need for everyone. No, okay, come on.
You get down to the fiery place, and my man goes to you, marmalade and elephants.
And you're just like, well, just tell me where. Just tell me where to go.
Yeah. All right, I got a couple more quick ones for you, Sean, before we get out of this. Okay. Husband. The doctor says for health, I have to walk 3 miles a day. The wife. That's great. Shall I get a bottle of bubbly and a meal for one next week? Husband. Why? Because by then you should be 21 miles away. Her. Unbuttoning her blouse. I don't know how I can pay my rent. Him. Unzipping his trousers. Oh, I think there's a way. Me. Chill out, guys. It's just Monopoly.
Thanks for that.
Right.
I'll do one more.
Come on, Sean.
A woman came home, screeching her car into the driveway, ran into the house. She slammed the door and shouted excitedly, "Honey, pack your bags. I won the lottery." The husband said, "Oh my God, what should I pack? Is it beach stuff, mountain stuff?" No, it doesn't matter. Just get out.
I love that classic. Come on. I can hear that joke every day, bruv. It's a great one. There's another. Did I tell you? There's another version I heard the other day, which was very similar. So you'll get the punchline. So we don't have to clip this. It was a man's. Maybe you can clip this. Man says to his. Let me say. No, let's switch it around. Woman says to her husband, "I'm going out. Get your jacket." He goes, "Why? Are you taking me with you?" She goes, "Nah, I'm turning the heating off." This is a cost of living crisis, baby. All right, cool. All right, well, that was our jokes.
Of the week.
Yeah, man. I have news stories for you, Sean. Kill a bit, I'll be honest. This week, I've been so busy just trying to get my nostrils open that I haven't really done much. But I can say this.
That sounds like a euphemism for like getting your leg over.
What? I'll get my nostrils open. Oh, that's a horrible
I've been trying to get my nostrils open all week. Do you reckon there's nostril fantasies?
If you can think it, Sean, unfortunately, I mean, we grow up when the internet was it was booming and growing, and we know that there's certain things, you know, I could say to...
Well, wait. We grew up before the internet was...
We did, you did, but we grew up with... The internet was like... The internet grew for us, innit? It catered for us, innit?
I like that. It grew for us.
I could say 2 girls, and you can finish the whole sentence.
No, what?
2 girls, 1, and that's it. Yeah. And
your brother,
yeah, there you go. 1 man, I can say that. And for the dancer, it's not 1 man. It's not that. It's another thing. But 1 man, 1 whatever. Yeah. So we've seen things, right? So yeah, I believe. Do you know what? But if you were into nostrils, I think that is quite nice, isn't it? It's not as. It doesn't sound as creepy. Like, look at the nostrils on that, bruv. Look at that, bruv. Do you reckon, what can we do to make her flare them? How would you encourage someone to flare their nostrils? An involuntary flare. We flick some pollen in their direction, see if they got anything. Or there's somebody that rolls around with like a little pot of dust and just goes like that at them and goes, "Oh, look at it." The anticipation of a sneeze to him. Yeah, you know. Dear. I did actually know a guy who really was, and this is not a bit, really attracted to women with big noses. So he'd say, "Look at the nose on that."
But bruv, I'm not so far removed from this because like I have a thing for noses.
Really?
Yeah.
Like what kind of nose?
Like there are people who a lot of people are like, "Oh, she is like absolutely stunning," and I'm like, "No,
no way, nose way."
No, I just nose way.
Sorry.
So someone like people always drop like, I don't know, Scarlett Johansson or whatnot. I'm like, no, I don't like her nose.
Really?
Yeah. Like just the I don't know.
No, that's totally fine. That's totally fine. I think people don't admit to. Let me look at her nose.
What, nose shaming?
To nose shaming, isn't it?
She's weird.
Pretty.
I'm just weird.
I've never ever thought about her nose in isolation.
Yeah, see, I think about noses in isolation because it sits in the middle of your face.
It's quite an obvious thing to look at. So
therefore, it's quite
Yeah.
It's quite
There was a girl that we went to school with that said she really fancied a guy that had cockeyed and wonky teeth. She said it just did it for him. I swear to God, she was like,
I'm
into
not doubting it.
So
but
if you've got, that's the thing. What I always realize is when I look at some of these horrible serial killers that have full relationships, and I'm like, you guys are actually the scum of the earth. I'm like, there's someone for everyone. You get me? There's someone for everyone, bro. Because the state of some of these serial killers, that I'm like, if you can find love, everyone can find love. But you know, and I think being into noses is way better than being into like murder. Do you know what I mean?
I'm gonna say so. I would like to think so. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this is, I have to be careful to say this because if you say this around some people, they'll run away with it. Well kept feet. So I'm not into feet.
Did you really say a lot of people run away from?
Yeah, look, I don't want to step on any toes here. You get me? Like, I don't. Look. I've got to tread carefully.
Don't tiptoe about that.
But yeah, like well kept feet, because I think because you're on them all the time, if you can maintain them, then I don't know. It's one challenging.
Is that your you can? That's interesting. You're like if you keep your feet nice, that means that you're a well put together person.
Yeah, you know how some people are into like teeth. Or some people into noses or whatever like that. But a well-kept nose is kind of... I mean, no, there could be a badly kept nose.
It could be a badly
Spider
kept
webs coming out of it, like big hairs coming out of it, you know, not trimmed.
We're not nose shaming anyone.
Yeah,
at this
not nose.
moment in time,
Crusty bogies on the nose.
Yeah,
That's not... Because you could look at a nice nose. If it had crusty bogies on it, would that take some points off it?
I believe it would.
Yeah, there you go. Unless you like a bit of icing.
And it's in the same way you might get some... If you've got some well-manicured feet, but then they have some cheese on it, you'd probably be like, nah, I'm not cool with that.
There you go, yeah.
Maybe.
There you go.
You might like
well manicured hands, nails, but they've got loads of dirt under the nails. Do you know what I mean? That's for things, yeah. So I think well kept feet is nice. But whenever I try and say, people go, "Oh, you're in," like, I've not got a foot fetish, so I'm not like. Whoa.
But I would say that you're probably. It would seem that like you're more put off by not well kept feet.
Yeah. Same way as if somebody, and I'm not because some people have grafting work where they absolutely their hands get battered every day. Yeah. But if you don't. You know, I think if someone hasn't got very well kept hands, like or dirt, I think what well kept in terms of clean. If someone's got really dirty hands, then that's like can be a turn off.
Definitely
like that with feet.
Like rough hands is different. Rough hands from manual labour or whatnot. That's a different thing, and it's about. But also, if you're working with like oil, grease, all of that stuff, and you're just scrubbing your hands, or do like mechanics and stuff, you're scrubbing your hands. Boy, your hands like take an absolute beating, and you just get calluses on calluses. And yeah.
And then you get those men that have just those hands that are like planks of wood. Yeah. You know, like men, their hands just look like they could punch a tree down.
Bro, you shake. I shake their hand and I'm like, yeah, I don't think we're made of the same shit, bro.
Yeah. And you just like, but it's really. I always also find it funny when I see people with hands like that. And they're just doing something really delicate. I find it hilarious. Like if it's someone with hands like that and they're drinking an espresso even, and they can't even get their like fingers, their fingers can't even grab onto the side of the espresso thing. Anyway, sorry, we totally digress there.
Yeah,
we'll have to do this next week, Sean. I've got some egg corns for you next week, which are the top egg corns, which I think we discussed before. Mispronounced words.
Oh, right.
So if you know any egg corns, please send them in jokes@howtokillnow.com. For example, Pacifically. So we're going to do our top 10 egg corns.
Oh, sick. Okay.
Now, before we do this, I just want to say I am a top mispronouncer of words. Yeah. Okay. I think even the other day I did a live audition with somebody and I said, what did I say? I said, it's a word for I think I said spontaneity and spontaneity, and they rinsed me for it in front of the whole audition.
Boy.
I was like, flip. When they said, I love the guy. It was funny, innit? Yeah, they said it and they were like, I said a whole sentence. They were like, yeah, but I can't believe you said spontaneity instead of spontaneity. And I was just like, ha ha! Jokes, yo. In my head, I was like, rah, man, I must have sounded so dumb.
Keeping you guys on your toes.
Yeah,
so
but I always do that. I always say monster instead of monster. But these are words.
I didn't know that you did that because I know someone else that does that.
Do you rinse them as well?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So, for exactly, Pacifically or for all intensive purposes, stuff like that. Send them in. We're going to do the top 10 egg corns next week.
Get some respite.
Yes. And I also have some evil facts, but we haven't got time for that this week, Sean. We haven't got time. So let's jump into our news
of the week.
What have you got for me today?
I promise next week we'll have a change of subject, but
next week we've got the co-op.
Yes.
Split fiction.
Yes, co-op split fiction. Does that mean are we actually going to play it this week?
We're playing this week, 100%.
Okay, cool. Right. Yeah, we need to fix your Xbox, but
yeah.
Sorry. Right, so I don't know why this tickled me.
Okay.
but it did. International flight is forced to return to Chicago after 8 of its 12 bathrooms are clogged.
Bro, can we check the flight manifest to see if there's a specific person that we know on the flight?
That isn't me.
That's not you.
Because I'm one of the reasons.
I'm not going to lie. You were a prime suspect, but I thought you might not have told me if it was actually you. You might have like kept that one under wraps.
Whoever talks about the crime did the crime. Sorry. Right. So yeah, we got some big shitters in our group, innit? We got some big poopers. An airline has said an investigation later revealed a number of items, including clothing, were flushed down the toilet and became stuck in the plumbing. Now, for starters, this must be a big plane because 12 toilets must be
Double
4 at the
decker?
back. Yeah, 4 at the back maybe, double decker, 4 in the middle. Let's see if we find out what it is. But an international flight out of Chicago was forced to return to O'Hare International Airport after several bathrooms on the plane became unserviceable mid-flight. An investigation later revealed why. According to Air India, flight AI-126 from Chicago to Delhi on Wednesday, diverted back to its origin an hour and 45 minutes into the flight after 8 of the 12 lavatories on the plane became unserviceable, causing discomfort to all on board. Now, before I keep talking, I've got to say, it's an Air India flight, yeah, which is funny because it's going from Chicago to Delhi. So technically, were there a lot of Indian people on the flight that had Chicago belly? Did they? Because you know what it's like, bro. You know what it's like. They came over there, they had a few burgers. No, probably not burgers. Chicken burgers, all that kind of stuff. And bruv, it could be a case of Indian people getting because everyone talks about Delhi belly. But if you come over from Delhi and you're having that, what would you call it? Chicago crap? Chicago crappers? What would you call it?
Yeah, we'll leave it at that. Yeah. Chicago
I'm not being out of pocket, but I feel this is quite feasible. But yeah, do you think that might have been the case, bruv? They've come to the come to the East Coast, and you've been eating that American food, but you're not used to that, bruv. So they'll be running through you in different ways.
It's true. It could.
They always say be careful of the ice when you go away. The airline said the investigation later revealed items, including clothing, were flushed down the toilet and have become stuck in the plumbing. Imagine a poo that bad, you got to get rid of your kegs as well. So they're like, these are good to go.
You just got boxes and stuff on popper buttons, and they're just coming off and getting stuff down. And wait, hold on. So like, but someone's jumped on a plane and started sabotaging the toilet system. That's what's happened, right? Surely you don't accidentally flush down items of clothing in 8 different toilets on the plane without having a motive.
Am I allowed to go? I'm going to try and work
You can say whatever you want, but as long as it doesn't contradict what I just said.
Okay. I'm thinking this, right? You know, sometimes I go into my little weird scenario. I'm thinking this, right? Bunch of Indian people going back to Delhi. Probably a few Americans going to Delhi for a trip. But I'm seeing a bunch of Indian people eating the American food. It's giving them the Chicago clappers, we'll call it, yeah?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's something else.
Oh, yeah. Okay, let's think of some. Chicago crappers, yeah? They got the Chi-Town craps. One person uses the loo, uses a substantial amount of toilet paper. Another person uses a substantial amount of toilet paper. Next thing you know, toilet paper is run out.
Oh, you really do see the best in people, don't you?
Yeah. Toilet paper runs out, and you got the Chi-Town shits. Yes, that's it. You got the Chi-Town shits. The Chi-Town sheets. Yeah. You got the Chi-Town sheets. So, what do you use, Sean? I'm going to ask you, if you've got nothing to use, I think not the bottom end of the sock, because you could catch something off that, but the top end of your sock that goes around your ankle.
Ankles, yeah. Ankle, part of the ankle is yeah.
And you're going back to India. You ain't really going to need socks in India, are you, bruv? You could be banging out the sandals. Bruv, the temperature over there, you ain't going to need socks. That's the first thing to go. I just
imagine the people at the airport going back to India and they're opening their like, what have you got socks for?
Contraband, isn't it?
Yeah. You're not going to need these, sir. I think we'll just remove them. Like, what? Yeah, I think we'll remove these socks.
Yeah. There's a 50 milliliter limit and 2 pairs of sock limit as well. You just don't need these.
Take one pair on you. Take one pair with you onto the plane just in case the lure runs out. Don't flush them, though.
Don't flush them, please. Don't flush these. So yeah, I reckon someone needed it.
You really do. You've seen like the good in someone where you've like, no, they haven't done this nefariously. They've done this because they got caught short.
who'd be into that? Like, I thought we left that behind with the wet bandits in Home Alone 1.
Bro,
like, blocking to us.
can we say this as well? How many extra items of clothing had said person or persons brought onto the flight? Because you'd have to have 8 different pieces of clothing that you can get rid of without sitting. If you're the only one sitting there in your boxers on the plane, they're going to know that it was you in it.
Yeah.
It wasn't they're walking down the aisle thinking someone has stuffed all their clothes and blocked all 8 toilets, and there's one Donny sitting in budgie smugglers. You're going to be like, hey, I think it's this guy.
So you think in your head the Pink Panther music is playing and somebody's gone dum dum, and they've like one sock in one loo, one sock in another, t-shirt down the other, and they're just going to sit there like twiddling their thumbs like with, like you said, just budgie smugglers on and a pair of sandals, just going.
No one will ever know.
Oh man, but yeah, man, it was so the flight was so bad that they said that there was clothing, like I said, stuck in the plumbing. We'd like to confirm that as part of our investigation into the incident, our teams found polythene bags, rags and clothes that had been flushed down the plumbing. This led to lavatories becoming unserviceable, which is very uncomfortable for our passengers.
Can I just say, what the extra details that you just gave there, your story still holds true, because it hasn't been like a shoe, because you're like, no one's trying to like clean themselves up with the shoe, but rags and but rag, like a rag or a polystyrene thing, potentially could still be in the remit of I got caught short, like real bad.
You could see someone like
let me just have a look in my pockets that I brought. When you go into the toilet and you're like, let me just have a look, and just pulling out like polystyrene bag. What was it?
Polythene
bags, and
they
like
just rip their pocket out of their trousers and go.
Let me just check on inside my. Oh, I've got some rags inside my sleeve. Oh, let me just.
You go. I could always imagine, like, like how in like an army movie or like in a survival movie, someone tears a bit of their t-shirt off to like tie over a wound. That's what they do to whack their ass. Ain't gonna need that.
You just see some guy come out of the bathroom with like half a shirt, just a big patch ripped out of it,
walking like that, breathing like it's that breath in it. Don't want to go in there, mate. So the incident was discovered while the plane was flying over the Atlantic, but because of restrictions on night operations at many European airports, which probably means they couldn't clean them, they had to return to Chicago. The decision to divert was taken entirely out of interest of passenger comfort and safety. A spokesperson said the passengers were provided with hotel accommodations and alternative flight operations following the diversion.
But let me put this out there. If someone's managed to block, in the first hour and a half, if they managed to block 8 out of 12 toilets, and Chicago to Delhi's got to be
it's a big one.
It's got to be 11, 12 hours or something.
Yeah,
I'm thinking
might even be a stop off in London. Could it be? Is that the wrong way? I don't know how it goes. But yeah,
it's a long flight,
yeah.
And what happens? Like, if an hour and a half you've done 8 out of 12, like maths would show that you're going to get all 12 within the first 2 hours.
And as soon as you tell people that they can't use a toilet, you got to use a toilet.
Oh,
so all you think about is using the toilet.
Can I put it out there? It would be pandemonium.
Yeah,
it would be. People would be shitting in bags at their seat. It would.
Do you know what? I think one of the real MVPs on planes is the toilet, because it gets absolutely hammered, doesn't it? It probably sees some of the most action. Like, that is a war zone, bruv. It is a war zone between humans and this small little loo that gets battered. Like, because I think I use the loo at least once on a flight. Even a short one, I'll probably have to go in there. Most people use the loo. I'm just saying, man.
Purpose-built, though, isn't it?
Purpose-built for it. You're right. The airline has previously found items like blankets, diapers. Diapers I get. You shouldn't, but I get it.
Bruv.
But blankets.
Who's stuffing a whole blanket?
13 tog.
Yeah, lose your shoe whilst you're doing it.
Yeah,
that I don't get. Why do people? Can I just ask? Right, I'm putting it out there, like genuinely, like I really do want to know. If you have in the past decided that you needed to stuff something in the toilet, can you let us know what it was and what was the emotion and what was the trigger behind it? Because that's the thing that I'm most interested in. Was it from a joyful perspective? Was it from a, like, you feel a little bit evil? You're like, ha. Let me, from a cheeky perspective. What is the motivation? What's the? I don't understand it. I don't get it.
I just don't get it.
I don't get it.
I just.
But that's why I'm reaching out. I'm reaching out. You know.
Yeah, I would really like to know. I'd like to think it's just ignorance. I think some people don't understand.
No. You're trying to do that thing again. You're trying to do that thing again when you're looking at the best in people, bro. There's no one that's managed to purchase a flight and get themselves unpacked correctly and get on the airplane, who then goes to the toilet with the blanket that they get given and think that's the legit thing to do, to wipe their ass with the blanket and stuff it down the toilet. That I'm just not having that, bro. I'm not having it. Bro, I try to see the best in people as well, but I'm not.
The blanket's wild though, isn't it? A blanket's mad. You're like, a sock, I get it. A diaper, you shouldn't do it, get it. Something that has nothing to do with the toilet.
Also,
there should never even be in a toilet.
Why are you bringing up, bro? Why are you bringing up blanket?
You know what it's like.
Why are you bringing your blanket into the toilet?
You've got the shivers, Sean. You know what it's like when you're in a time of need. It's been an absolute pleasure as usual. We are going to quickly knock out some punishment, which is where you guys get to send in your jokes to us. jokes@howtokillanhour.com is where you send them. Thanks for all the love on socials as well. Sean, it's been a pleasure.
Likewise, bro.
It's been a weirdly short show. I'll talk about it probably next week. Pantheon, I've watched on Netflix.
Okay.
Quite good. Also, Reacher new season's out as well. We can talk about that next week as well.
We never talk about Reacher as well, so I feel like we should talk about Reacher.
I've been holding back on watching them till they're all out, so I've only watched a couple. But we'll talk about it next week, man.
All right.
Peace.